Welcome back to Aleida's Curiosity Closet. On today's show, we're going to be looking at floral and floral design and learning about floral. We have two special guests with us today. We have Carrie Phillips, the floral instructor from Bret Harte, and Kaylynne Anderson, a student who also works at Blooms and Things. How are you today?
Doing very well, thank you.
Very well.
So how many years have you been teaching in FFA?
This is the beginning of my 12th year teaching agriculture at Bret Harte High School.
And did you always teach floral, or?
Well, my first job was at Bret Harte High School. The school that I student taught at did not have any floral classes, so I didn't have any experience at that school. And my job at Bret Harte came with teaching a floriculture class, so that's where I first began.
And what got you interested in being an FFA and being in floral?
Well, that kind of takes me back to my roots of going back to my high school ag program. My junior year in high school, I decided to take an agriculture science class. I took animal science because everybody takes animal science because everybody loves animals. And I got involved in my FFA chapter at Chico Senior High School, and I really enjoyed being a part of the agriculture family. My senior year, I took a floral class as well as a greenhouse operations class. And from being in the floriculture class, I really just grew to love the floral design and everything that entailed it. So that was kind of my beginning, my experience with floral design. And then I got to kind of start all over again once I got hired at Bret Harte High School.
Wow. Kaylynne, what got you into floral?
Well, I needed an elective, to be honest, and it looked fun, and my mom really likes flowers. I was like, well, that's a good way to be nice to my mom. And just like the first week, I was like, I love this class. Love it. So that's kind of what got me started into floral.
What do you really, really love about it? Like, what's your absolutely most favorite thing?
My favorite thing would probably be the fact that everyone's is the same, but it's completely different all at the same time. And it's not like painting where if you mess up, it's like permanent. In floral, you can kind of fix it and like rearrange it and stuff. So it's kind of more carefree, I guess.
So now there's a first year, and then there's the next year, which is advanced floral. How different is the first year from the advanced year?
The first year is more like bookwork, learning about just how to do certain things. It's like certain arrangements and the uniqueness in them. And then the advanced year, it's more kind of actually doing it, and it gives you more of an idea on how to run a shop.
Were you prepared for the big differences between the two classes?
It was a lot bigger than I thought, but I really enjoy it, and it's been worth it. So,
do you see a big difference in your students, like between the first year and the second year? Like difference in maturity, difference in skills?
I definitely see growth in both those areas because the students are progressing in their skill level. By the time when they first begin in the basic Floral 1 class, we have to kind of go through the stepping stones of the different types of designs. And I always joke with them and say, you have to learn to crawl before you can walk. And so they'll go through different types of arrangements, triangular, circular, line arrangements. And we start building up their skill level until the end of the year. I give them a little bit more creativity in their arrangements. And they see that more in advanced floral design. In the advanced class, it really becomes more of an art form. It really is more of an advanced level that I'm pushing them towards. What I expect from beginning or first year advanced members, I should say, is not as much as what I'm going to push my second or third year advanced students, because I know each year we keep trying to move them in their skills, in their designs, and push that envelope to think more outside the box than just basic arrangements.
If you have a student who's interested and wants to go into advanced floral but doesn't feel ready, they're for it, after the first year, can they stay another year and still get credits in the first floral class?
Oh, absolutely. So I do have some students that I do recommend take it again if I feel that they need perhaps a little bit more practice in following the patterns and the designs that are put forth in the class and understanding how we price items out. And if they want to, they are more than welcome to stay in the class again, further develop their skills, and move up. Before we had advanced floral culture class, I would have my students would just take it year after year after year.
And do you see a lot of students become florists or go into something ag-related, or?
A lot of our students do pursue careers in agriculture. A lot of them attend four-year universities. There are a few programs still left in California that offer floral certification. San Francisco City College still offers it. There's some schools down in LA. Butte College has a floral program also. So some of the students do move into that. But what I do see the most of is that it provides students with an opportunity to get a job while they are going to college. And I do have a lot of my students that are going to a four-year university that are working in a floral shop so that they can put themselves through college.
And I mean, what kind of education would you need to become a florist, I mean, fully, like for your full job? And do you think that starting in high school is important if you want to be a good florist?
Well, I think anywhere, developing the passion. I always find the students, there are some students that are just born to do flowers that really have a natural knack for it, as you would find in any career at all. And I think that it's great to start somewhere in high school. It's just giving them more experience. The more time that you can play and make floral arrangements, the more comfortable you are with flowers and the better you become. So even starting in high school is a great place to begin and develop those. As far as certification, that's kind of a gray area in floral design. Not all shop owners have a florist certificate or any kind of credentialing or any kind of certification. It is kind of a gray area. I know that there's certification through California, and also there's certification, the highest certification you can get in the nation is with the American Institute of Floral Design, or AIFD. And that's the highest level that you can get. My advanced class is taught material out of that book. So they're really getting the very best information. They're getting what it takes to be nationally certified.
Does it take a lot to stay on top of all the different designs that come up?
It takes a lot. Just like the fashion industry is ever changing with every season, the floral industry is also changing with every season, with every year, and staying on top of trends seems to be what I spend a lot of my time doing. I have to do a lot of research, a lot of online searching. Working through Florist Review magazine has a terrific website resource, as well as the magazine itself, staying abreast of the industry and what's happening. I do attend floral shows put on by Teleflora and AIFD. It's the Northern California, Nevada unit of the AIFD, and they put on shows, seminars throughout the year for florists to actually go to, and I'm fortunate to be able to attend those shows, even though I'm a teacher within the high school, and they really, really want to have a relationship with those high school teachers, because they know that if we're teaching you how to do things right in high school, then that means they have less to train when they get in the shop. So they are really interested in building that relationship. So I attend a lot of those shows, again, to stay on the latest trends.
So Kaylynne, do you find it difficult to also stay on top of latest trends? Because you just learn one style and then the next thing you know it changes?
Yes and no. It's basically the same idea, like it's always going to be a circle, or like to make a triangle, it's always going to be the same. but it's also hard to know like which color combinations are always going to be like fluctuating like in popularity and everything. So it's hard, but maybe not as hard as some might think.
Is there a lot of outside of school time required to be involved in FFA and in the floral class?
To be a part of FFA, it's not required really to do a lot, but if you want to be a part of it, it's encouraged. There's FFA meetings, and there's fundraisers, and there's co-ops, like chicken co-op, sheep co-op, that you can do, which are really good for everyone who's in them. Then everything else just kind of falls into place, so.
Is floral one of those classes that is homework, or is it one of those really fun classes that you don't get homework?
You don't really get homework in it. I guess the only homework would be assigned by yourself, like if you didn't do your work in Floral 1, or just kind of experimenting on the side and researching to improve your own knowledge, but it's nothing that's really required or graded.
Do you ever make arrangements outside of school, like you're at home and it's Mother's Day, so you go out to the garden and make arrangements or anything like that?
I personally do that all the time. My house always has flowers in it ever since Miss Phillips taught me how to do stuff. My mom doesn't complain at all. There's always flowers, like in our kitchen.
What types of arrangements are your favorite to make, like bouquet or like in a vase?
I personally prefer the vase because it kind of holds it all together, to where if you did it in foam, it would cause holes, so it's harder once you get the holes in there. And then the bouquets, I don't have much experience in that, but that does look something fun. So
I've seen a lot of arrangements made with just vase and water. I've also seen foam. How does that work? Like, what's the big difference? Why do you need foam instead of just a vase and water?
The foam, I'm not 100% sure. I'm assuming it makes it more sturdy kind of, and it allows you to do more different techniques and stuff, and it's just kind of a different style compared to the water.
So ag classes usually take, like, you have to really devote yourself to it and be involved. Has that helped you with other things in life, like, you know, being able to be more involved or knowing how to talk to people better because you're talking to people all the time?
One thing ag has done for me is kind of opened the door to a second family. Everyone in ag is kind of in a big family, so that makes it fun. And you also get practice talking to people if you're on any judging team. Last year I was on the floral judging team, and we had to do reasons and talk to them as part of the competition about why we chose a certain plant over a different one. So.
Well, changing the topic back to the whole busy schedule thing for students, FFA can be very involved, it cannot be. So also people are really into sports. Can you be really involved in FFA and sports at the same time?
Absolutely. We have many students that do both. It does require planning on the students' part and making sure that they keep an organized calendar and figure out where they need to be when, and of course have supportive parents at home that want to encourage their child to do multiple activities. Colleges and universities are looking for a well-rounded student, not just an athlete, but also an athlete that's involved in other activities as well. And that's really what they're looking for when they're selecting their applicants. Our past FFA president played spring sports, winter sports, fall sports, and was the FFA president, took animals to fair, was on judging teams, competed in contests. She was able to manage it, and she's not the first one to ever be able to do it.
You hear a lot about sports scholarships and how those are really big. Does FFA have anything similar to offer, like scholarships or college help in any way?
FFA has a huge plethora of scholarships. In fact, most of our students are extremely successful when we have scholarship night at Bret Harte High School. Our students average somewhere between about 1/3 of all the scholarships given out at scholarship night alone, just because they have community service, leadership activities, sports activities. They have the whole package. So they're very successful in that. Not to mention the fact that the California FFA also provides scholarships for FFA members, and the National FFA also gives away a little over $1 million a year in scholarships nationally as well. There's a lot of scholarships. It's not uncommon for some of our FFA members to walk away with anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 in scholarships.
So besides college degrees, which are really important, I also hear a lot about FFA degrees. I hear people talking around them on the school campus. What is an FFA degree?
I'm assuming you're talking about the years in FFA and the degrees as you progress through. Is that what you mean by the degrees? Yes. In FFA, we actually have 4 degrees that a student member can earn. The first year in agriculture, you can get your green hand degree, which is given out to those first year students who just get enrolled in an agriculture class. Second year members, students that have already received their green hand degree, they've already completed an entire year of instruction that meet the qualifications, can apply for their chapter FFA degree, which is the highest degree that we at Bret Harte High School can give to our members. Third and fourth year students can apply for the state FFA degree, which is the highest degree that you can get in the state of California. Last year, our Bret Harte chapter had the highest amount of state degrees for our section. We had 23 students receive their state FFA degree. And there's many qualifications that go into that. They have to have a certain dollar amount, they have to have hours in their projects, they have to have community service, they have to have lots of different FFA activities. So there's a lot of different criteria that go in to actually getting the state FFA degree. And then the last degree is the American FFA degree, which you actually cannot apply for until your first year out of high school. So they're looking for ag college students that are still keeping their projects going. Last year we had 4 members get their American FFA degree, and again, that's the highest award that you can get in the nation through FFA.
Wow. Do you have to what kind of community service did they accept? Because I know you see scholarships that don't accept this kind of community service or that kind, only this kind. What kind does FFA accept?
Well, FFA accepts the community service where you are giving your free time to a cause or a purpose or a service that you don't receive anything in return for. That's kind of the definition of community service. So I would hope that everybody would honor that. But that's what we look for in community service.
Do you have to be an animal person to be an FFA?
That is my favorite question. No, you do not. For the sheer fact of, look at Kaylynne sitting here. She never took an animal to fair. No. Many people are under the misconception that you have to be an animal person to be involved in FFA, and that's not even the case. We've had so many members over the years that are not animal people, that have no interest in animals, and they thrive in FFA. They get scholarships. FFA is about 3 things, the mission of FFA: premier leadership, personal growth, and career success. And that's their mission. It's not to get you involved with animals. That's only one aspect of it. There's floral design. We also have greenhouse and horticulture design. There's lots of different elements. It's about making you the best person that you possibly can be.
What careers really are helped by being in ag for 4 years or whatever amount of years?
That's a difficult question because we've had so many students that major in ag that are successful, but I think the biggest story is the kids who aren't majoring in ag that are still successful because of those 3 mission things that I just explained. I mean, FFA helps you to be a more confident person. It helps you to be a leader. It helps you to grow as a person. And I think that those are things that make you successful in any career that you choose, not just an ag career. So I think, obviously, if you want to be an agriculture teacher, it's very beneficial if you've been in FFA because you're going to be an advisor of FFA. But I think it helps every career. It helps every student just become more successful.
So Kaylynne, are you looking at any career that you think ag might help you with?
I really want to be a florist when I graduate Bret Harte, and I want to do that, and I want to eventually open up my own floral shop after I get through college and everything. So yeah, because of the floral class. Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask,
Okay.
what flowers are the most fun to work with?
Oh, I like gerberas because I learned a trick that you can pull off the petals in certain ways, and you can make like patterns in the petals, so that's really fun. I also like dahlias just because they're my favorite, so working with your favorite flower is always a good thing. Stock is kind of cool, glads, it just goes on and on. They're all fun in their own way, so.
Do you have any flowers that you're like, oh God, I don't want to work with this?
Personally, I don't like carnations, but that's, I don't know, they look kind of like a little pincushion. I don't know. They're not that bad though. There's none that's just like tedious and annoying and I just hate it. There's none like that, so.
How artistic do you have to be in floral? Like, do you have to be able to sculpt or paint, or is it just
You don't have to be artistic
flowers?
at all. You really don't. You just have to be able to know what looks good, and you have to be able to know just what's proportionate. You have to know the basics, and then once you get the basics, it's pretty much a free-for-all, an empty canvas.
Also, kind of changing the topic a little, I know safety is a huge thing in every single ag class. What are some of your safety rules? Just a few.
Well, we only have a 30-minute show here. You know, my biggest thing is being safe with floral wire, keeping it at waist level, cutting it at waist level, making sure that you look before you cut. It's always an important thing. Making sure that you carry your shears correctly, keeping them away from the edge of the table so they don't fall on someone's foot in a bad way. Making sure that we don't get our fingers burned using the hot glue gun or hot glue pan. Those are probably my biggest safety issues in class that I'm concerned with. And opening the cooler door before you lock it. Make sure nobody's inside. That's another good one.
I know, it might be kind of nice on a summer night to be locked in the cooler.
It might be. I know I've gone in there a few times when it's been warm.
So, Kaylynne, do you ever find that, okay, these rules are just common sense, or what's with that rule?
A lot of it's common sense, but I'm glad that she makes us like go through the safety tests and everything, because you wouldn't think about it. Like, you know in the back of your mind, but it's not something you're like cautious of all the time. So it's just a good reminder, and everyone slips up every once in a while, but it's just a good reminder.
I mean, what happens if you mess up? Do you get, locked in the cooler?
No, she won't lock you in the cooler, but I'm sure that if you continually made the same mistakes, she would not let you use that tool, or she'd have to eventually take you out of the class. So just be careful and don't do anything stupid.
So I'm a little curious about this. I've noticed how you can go out and pick flowers out of your garden and they'll be hideous. And I mean, then you get a beautiful arrangement from a florist, like it has, roses don't have the little prickly things that everyone hates. How do you guys do that?
Well, we have tools to do that. First of all, we have rose strippers to take the thorns off. And a lot of it is just practice. I mean, anyone can make a floral arrangement, but it takes practice and trial and error and just looking at different things and just your creativity level as well. So it all kind of ties together, but you don't have to be in a florist industry or in the shop to make a pretty arrangement at home.
What are some of the different floral shapes and how do you create them?
Well, the basics that you look at is you create line arrangements, triangular arrangements, circular arrangements, fan arrangements. I could go on and on and on. Horizontal arrangements. There's lots of different types of arrangements. And depending upon what mechanics you use, as you asked Kaylynne earlier, vases differ from foam arrangements and the way you construct them. But there's also a lot of new techniques that are coming out in the floral industry, using armatures where you connect branches together to go over the tops of vases to hold the flowers in for you, so you don't have to use foam anymore. You know, all these things. The floral industry is, you know, constantly on cutting edge, and we're always learning how to break the rules. So I think once we get in advanced floral, that's when I start teaching you how to break the rules and thinking outside the box a little bit more. I mean, those are some examples of arrangements. You know, in beginning floral, circular arrangements, we make a little pumpkin arrangement inside a little pan pumpkin. Then we move into triangular arrangements for Thanksgiving, and so we keep moving through the different styles in the beginning floral class. And then once you get into the advanced floral class, we really focus on some different techniques to create the same shape, grouping similar flowers together to create a dramatic impact, and creating more line, using more symmetry, using focal point. Really creating what we call rhythm that carries your eye throughout an entire arrangement. We focus that more in advanced floral because that really is something that takes a while to master.
Can you work with a low budget?
Yeah, I can work with almost any budget. I get very creative because obviously we're a high school. We're not a full floral shop. I have a limited amount of money that I'm able to work with, and the students do purchase their arrangements and take them home. A lot of times they'll tell me what they want to spend on something, and then I'll design an arrangement to fit that budget. But in advanced floral, the kids really like working with expensive, pretty flowers. So it does get challenging, but on some of these new techniques we learn, we can fit it all in there and we can make our budget.
I know you do weddings, but what else do you do? Do you like take orders if someone had this big birthday coming up and they wanted to send the person they care about an arrangement? Or
Oh,
whatever?
absolutely. Yes, we do everything from daily orders. We work with the Calaveras County Cancer Support Group. Will also call us and order arrangements for different events that they have. We've done baby showers, bridal showers, a whole plethora of different things. So, you know, if I have flowers available, then I can make something. You know, if somebody wants something specific, though, I do need a little bit of lead time on that. I can't just, because I don't carry a full stock in my cooler at all times like you would find at a floral shop.
Now, Kaylynne, is there anything you really want other people to know, high school students to know about floral and FFA?
Just that it's never too late to get involved and you won't regret it. This is my beginning of my second year in FFA and I love it. I wish I would have taken it freshman year. And anyone who says that it's for those people who have to live in like the sticks and stuff, it's not. It's really not. It's just where you can go and like I said, it's like a family and you get to explore different career options and everything. And you just kind of figure out more who you are.
Is there any tips of advice you have for the parents, maybe, for FFA?
Get involved, know what your child's doing, and support your child. Those are my biggest tips for parents. You know, a lot of these kids are doing really terrific and great things. We would always love to see more parental support and see more parents get involved. We always encourage parents to attend our monthly FFA meetings and to get involved with our Bret Hart FFA boosters to help support these kids so that they can make arrangements, so that they can travel doing FFA activities at a discounted price. And it's all about the students, and it's all about giving them those opportunities and making it available to them.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
It was fun to have you guys on.
Thank you. It was fun being here.
Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you next time. And don't forget to like Aleida's Curiosity Closet on Facebook.